Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to reverse a car safely. In this video, I'll be going over a simple driving lesson, a simple driving tutorial to show you how to safely reverse a vehicle. Now, without further ado, let's get right to it. I'll be breaking down the process for reversing safely into three very simple parts. Number one is looking. Number two is steering. And number three is actually moving. All right, let's get right to it. Number one, looking. This is where you look and how you should look when you're reversing. Before you even start to reverse your car, you want to check all three of your mirrors. You want to check both blind spots. And then you want to also turn your head around and look all around behind the car. Now, you want to look everywhere behind the car, no matter which way you're steering, no matter what you're doing with the steering wheel, you want to look everywhere just to get an idea for what's happening around the car. And as you're reversing, so that's what you do before you reverse, as you're reversing the car, you're continuing to look constantly around the car, in the mirrors, in every direction. You literally want to continually look around, just like this. And when I'm turning around, I'm actually looking directly out the rear windshield. So as I turn around, I'm looking directly out the rear windshield. Now I'm going through the side windows. Now I'm checking my mirrors as I look at the front. And you want to constantly be doing that. And I'll demonstrate in just a few moments. The second thing that I want to talk about is steering. Now, steering in reverse is one of actually the most difficult things to learn how to do as a beginner driver, because it sort of makes you think in a weird way. But there's a little secret to thinking easily about steering in reverse. And I'll tell you a little thing that I like to teach. And that is to keep your perspective as looking in front of you. So right now, if I turn my head around and I'm thinking about looking behind me, then when I actually turn the wheel, it's going to confuse me. And I'll tell you why. If you look in front of the car, and you turn the steering wheel to the left. If I turn the wheel to the left and I'm going forward, the front end of my car is going to go to the left. If I'm in reverse, the back end of my car is going to go to the left. If I'm looking this way, the back end of my car is going to follow the steering wheel to the left. Same thing goes with the right. If I turn the wheel to the right and I'm going forward, the front end of my car is going to go to my right when I'm looking forward. But also, if I'm in reverse, the back end of my car is going to go to my right when I'm looking forward. Right? Now, if you're turned around and you're turning the wheel, it's going to really confuse you because it's the opposite when you're looking behind you. So while you're looking behind you and you're steering, okay, you want to have your perspective as looking in front of you. So I'm looking behind me, but when I steer, I'm thinking about looking in front. When I steer to the right, I'm thinking that if I'm looking at the front, my rear end is going to go to my right. Even though I'm turned around, my perspective of thought is like that. And with regards to steering, you can try and steer with two hands, and I would recommend as much as possible steer with two hands. But if you're doing the proper looking, you're going to have to learn to steer with one hand, right? And also, sometimes you're going to have to alter hands, meaning I might be steering with this hand, as I'm looking this way, but then as I switch to looking this way, I might switch hands. It all depends on your type of driving, but I'll demonstrate in just a few moments. Last but not least, I want to talk about moving in reverse. So I'm driving an automatic car, and in this car, I would recommend you release the brake pedal. And you just release the brake pedal as much as you need to pick up to move at the speed that you want to move. I wouldn't recommend pressing the gas pedal unless you absolutely need to. There are situations in which you can press the gas pedal and still move safely, but I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you absolutely need to. If you're driving a manual car, what you want to do is press the gas pedal down a little bit, start releasing the clutch until you feel that biting point. Hold the gas there, just press down just a little bit, and then you want to feather in and out the clutch. You want to feather the clutch in and out to use that biting point to propel you back and slow you down. You don't want to ever fully release the clutch when you're reversing in a manual car. Number one, it limits your control, and number two, you can pick up speed really quickly, which you don't want to do. So just use the clutch, feather it in and out from the biting point, and that will allow you to move back slowly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate all of these things for you as I reverse this car right now. Step number one, wear your seatbelt. It also goes with regards to safety. Always wear your seatbelt and make sure you're always looking around. You should never be reversing and just looking like that. Always be looking around. Always. Because guess what? When you look like this, you only see about 50 to 60% of the sight of your car. You see behind you and to this side. I can't see anything over on this side until I turn my head like this. So that's why you're constantly looking around, checking your mirrors and so forth. My foot is down on the brake pedal. I'm going to put the car in reverse release the parking brake, and let's move back a little bit. So I'm just gonna slowly release the brake pedal as I'm looking around, and right now I'm gonna be steering straight. So I'm gonna hold my steering wheel in the center position, and I'm gonna reverse like this, just releasing the brake pedal. As you can see, I'm not even fully releasing the brake pedal. I'm just feathering it in and out to move back, just like this. And you can see that I'm switching hands when I'm steering, even though I'm just staying straight right now. Now what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna turn to the left. So I'm gonna take my steering wheel as I'm reversing, start turning to the left. Now you have to remember, when you're turning your steering wheel while in reverse, the front end of your car is actually gonna swing out. So as you can see, I'm constantly checking everything, okay, just like that. Now I'm gonna actually switch and turn to the right. So I'm just reversing in almost like an S pattern over here, just like that. I see a car over here. I'm actually gonna go around this car, just like that. So I'm using my mirrors to also guide me with regards to knowing where the side of my car is, so that I don't hit this car or scrape this car that was just beside me right now. And I'm just gonna make this turn right here, going around. I'm just sort of doing a little loop in this parking lot, okay? And once again, as you can see, I'm steering with two hands and also steering with one hand. You wanna do whatever it takes to reverse safely, whatever works for you. I can tell you the steering that I use, and you can actually see it right now as I'm reversing. But you know, like I said, whatever works for you, works for you. And that's basically it. As you can see right there, I wasn't even going fast because I was just releasing the brake pedal. And even that was still at least somewhat quick. I'm in an empty parking lot. I mean, in a regular reversing situation, I wouldn't even be moving close to that quickly. I would just be feathering the brake pedal in and out. But that's basically it. In this video, I've shown you how to reverse a car safely. It's been a beginner driving lesson, and I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. What are some other tips for reversing a car safely? Let me know as a comment down below. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.